Coming up, about face. Venice High School rehires the coach just fired 2 months ago. Plus, Sarasota police didn't have to go far from the scene of the crime to arrest a suspect for last weekend's fatal shooting. Wait until you hear how old he is. And help wanted, Manatee County trying to hire hundreds of teachers in the next 2 months. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Ray Collins. Scott Dennis is off this week. Right now, police in Palmetto are trying to find a man considered armed and dangerous after an attempted kidnapping in northern Manatee County. Police say it would happen about 8 o'clock this morning in a stretch of road on 10th Street. Traffic had backed up and the victim came to a stop in her white Hyundai. And police say that's when a man cut her off. His last name, we're told, is Facundo. He got out of his car and then allegedly hit her and forced her out of her car and into his red Charger. The suspect then took off and ended up on the Skyway in Manatee County. Police say this is where he pulled off at the rest area of I-275 and US 19. The victim says an FHP trooper came along and helped as well. She is now with the police, giving a statement at this hour. We'll have much more. Now, there is the suspect on your screen. This is all happening as we speak. Albert Facundo is with Palmetto Police. We'll have details on the story on our website, and also later today at 5 and 6. Other crime news, an update now from Sarasota police, who are charging a teenager with murder after a drive-by shooting last weekend in Newtown. Police say witnesses led them to this man, 17-year-old Anna Rice Taylor, on North Orange Avenue. They say he shot a man Sunday afternoon on Lemon Avenue. Police say drugs are believed to be a factor in the fatal shooting. Taylor is now facing charges of murder with a firearm. For the latest on world, national, and local news and First Alert weather as well, check out our app under WWSB or My Suncoast. Also new at noon, weeks after the firing of the football coach who won the state championship, Venice High School has changed its mind. The school has rehired Coach John Peacock. He was dropped in April after 19 years. At issue was an action on social media where he liked a tweet that some viewed as racist. Peacock issued an apology to the Braden River coach, who was the target of the comment from a Venice player. After a petition drive and losing a major program sponsor, the high school announced today that Peacock is rehired and would, quote, continue to complete sensitivity and social media training components that will support his professional growth as a leader of young men. For the full statement, head to our website, mysuncoast.com. Right now, Manatee County law enforcement is wrapping up a morning of a dramatic drill on the campus of Bayshore High School. They spent time on an active shooter response training program. Our Marla Spence reports from Bradenton.
That active shooter training just wrapped up a few moments ago here at Bayshore High School. The training included law enforcement with Bradenton Police, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, and faculty and staff with the Manatee County School District. The purpose of today's training was to equip Manatee County School District employees with skills needed if they ever encounter an active shooter. Because the school was active today during summer break, the school district alerted parents of Bayshore, district employees, and neighboring businesses and schools, including IMG Academy and State College of Florida. We spoke to a recently retired teacher about today's training. She says trainings like this should happen more often to help teachers learn what they should do if there's an active shooter.
I do think it's important to be aware of what can be done and how to do things in the event that it happens, because if we just pretend it won't, then we're not prepared at all. Living where I do and in this district, it seems like something that could never happen. But anytime it happens, it's at a place where people thought it could never happen.
Today's training included simulated blank gunfire. It all started at 8 this morning and wrapped up at noon with a press conference with Superintendent Dr. Diana Green. I'm Marla Spence reporting for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Also in Manatee County, the district says it needs to hire hundreds of teachers in the next 2 months. They want to fill the majority of the 300 openings by the start of the school year. So why so many openings? Well, the district says retirements, resignations, and contracts not renewed. They also have to make one big hire. That is a new school superintendent. Diana Green is leaving for Jacksonville for the top job there later this month. New information about the graduating seniors in Manatee County. The district did some math and says that altogether, the graduates have qualified for about $16 million in college scholarships. The district also says students have been accepted into 200 colleges nationwide, including all 5 branches of the armed forces. And as we head into the summertime now, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says it's cracking down on alcohol sales to minors. Deputies visited 40 stores throughout the county during a recent undercover operation, and 8 local store clerks were cited for underage alcohol sales. The Sheriff's Office says summer break is the time for underage students to try and buy alcohol, and that undercover operations like this one serve as a reminder to stores of the consequences they face if they get caught breaking the law. When it comes to getting around Sarasota, there's cars and buses and bikes and scooters. But is there a better way to manage all the traffic around Sarasota? Stephanie got those details now of a transportation master plan. Stephanie?
Thank you, Ray. Well, it is a project that's designed to do a few things in the city of Sarasota, ease some of that traffic congestion and give some other option when it comes to getting around. So the city is now working on a transportation master plan to accommodate, first of all, the growing population. Now, one thing that's also tricky around here, being a tourist area with all of that seasonal increase in people and traffic. Now, to work with that, they're looking at a lot of different options.
Water taxi service and how to implement that here in Sarasota, what types of infrastructure we need to have in place for that really to work well, and how that might also integrate with bicycle share or scooter share. Micro transit is another thing that's happening throughout the U.S. right now.
Now that plan is expected to be finished in about 18 months, right?
All right, thank you, Stephanie. See some serious rain showers, as you predicted, coming through the area now.
And thunderstorms.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said with a little heating of the day, that would only exasperate the situation. Plus, we have some major thunderstorm activity in the northern Gulf waters, which has helped to kind of bring us a few thunderstorms around here. It's been a while since we've seen a few thunderclaps, and we're certainly seeing them out there in Gulf waters. There's a nice shot of this approaching thunderstorm, and it is producing lots of lightning and positive lightning strikes at that. You can see the massive rain showers to the north of us. A lot of that is going to stay to the north, but still some of the outflow from that is triggering off thunderstorms in our neck of the woods as well. And we have one large thunderstorm now moving onshore in Longboat Key and the Manatee beaches as well. It has multiple lightning strikes and some of them positive lightning strikes as well, and those are the most dangerous kind. Headed for this area, it's good to remember your lightning safety tips. If you hear the lightning, hear the thunder, it means you're in danger of being struck by lightning. It is possible you are close enough to the lightning strikes that you are in danger and should be inside in a safe location until you no longer hear the thunder for 30 minutes. Right now, the major threat from this system is, by the way, the lightning impact. Hail impact is minimal, and the flooding impact is minimal as well, though certainly you can see some brief torrential downpours, but it's moving at a pretty good clip. We'll talk about the rain chances for the rest of the afternoon coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, John. New details out of Washington now after President Trump held a celebration of America on Tuesday in place of a victory event for the Philadelphia Eagles. ABC's Arlette Saenz tells us why their coach is now speaking out.
For the first time since President Trump canceled the celebration for the Philadelphia Eagles, the team's coach is speaking out.
I was looking forward to going down and being recognized as world champions. And, it is what it is.
At the White House yesterday, a different kind of celebration played out with patriotic music and a singing president. The president made no mention of the Super Bowl champs, instead continuing to drive the heated debate over the national anthem.
We love our country, we respect our flag, and we always proudly stand for the national anthem. We always will stand for the national anthem.
But last NFL season, not one Eagles player took a knee during the anthem to protest police violence against minorities. Reacting to the president's change of events, Eagles safety Malcolm Jenkins says the decision was made to lie and paint the picture that these players are anti-America, anti-flag, and anti-military. The White House is accusing the Eagles of playing politics with their visit.
The Eagles are the ones that tried to change their commitment at the 11th hour, and the president frankly thinks that the fans deserve better than that.
Two of basketball's biggest stars are making their views clear.
I know no matter who wins this series, no one wants to invite anyway, so it won't be Golden State or Cleveland going. I agree with Brian.
The WNBA champs, the Minnesota Lynx, say they never received a White House invite this year as they have in the past. Instead, they'll be celebrating their victory with a community service event here in the D.C. area today, handing out sneakers to needy kids. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
Happening today, the First Lady is scheduled to make her first press appearance in almost a month. Melania Trump will join President Trump at FEMA headquarters in Washington. They'll be briefed on readiness for the 2018 hurricane season. This will be the first time Melania has stepped in front of press cameras in over 26 days. She was at an event for military families on Monday, but the media was not allowed to attend. And the White House communications aide who was criticized for making light of Senator John McCain's health is now off the job. The White House confirmed that Kelly Sadler no longer works within the executive office. In May, Sadler said during a meeting that McCain's opposition to CIA Director nominee Gina Haspel did not matter because, quote, McCain was dying. McCain is battling brain cancer. Both Sadler and the White House received widespread backlash, but the White House never publicly condemned it. Still to come on your Suncoast News, the cost of not getting enough sleep. We'll have the price tag for you. And we'll tell you what one family did when their bank accidentally wrote them a check for $1 million. That's coming up.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm going to show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch The Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score. It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach. Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically, and I don't know what we would have done without that.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So pretty active day on radar. Certainly lots of problems to the north around the Big Bend region. There's been some major flooding issues on some of the roadways, some strong storms moving onshore. There's big storms moving into areas of Pinellas County now. We are watching this whole line of systems kind of producing an outflow that has pushed some of the thunderstorm activity a little further to the south. And I think as we head into the afternoon, we'll have a rain chance of about 50% across our area. The tendency for these storms is to weaken as they sink southward. But nevertheless, we haven't had thunderstorms in a while, so we have to remember our lightning safety rules as we head into the afternoon. This is kind of the beginning of thunderstorm season, as we know, and this particular cell right here is a good example of one that's somewhat dangerous because of its lightning potential. If you look at this storm in particular, around the area, it has 32 strikes of lightning, but 12 of them are positive lightning strikes, which are about 10 times stronger than our average negative lightning bolts that hit the ground, and consequently oftentimes associated with the most lightning deaths. So just want to be safe with these storms as they move on shore, and be sure that you're not out and about outside as the storms move onshore, because if you can hear the thunder, you're in danger of being struck. Timeline for this one as it moves onshore, about 12:30 for North Sarasota, about 12:36 for Bayshore Gardens, Bradenton at 12:53, and then Palmetto at about 1 o'clock if it holds on till then. But I think it's going to actually start to decrease in intensity a great deal as it moves onshore. So we'll watch for that. Otherwise, down to the south, there are a few scattered showers, but nothing all that heavy. Today's planner shows hour by hour at 86 degrees by about 3 p.m. As we head into 7 p.m., we'll start to trend down our rain chances as the storms kind of rain themselves out and generally move into inland areas. Hour by hour forecast shows those showers moving on shore with by 3 p.m. kind of getting a little bit weaker, and then as we head into the evening period, things kind of settle down quite a bit. I don't think we'll have a particularly lovely sunset this evening. There'll be a fair amount of cloud cover around, but nevertheless, the threat for thunderstorm activity will have diminished significantly. Tomorrow, I think, could be a kind of a rainy day as well. 86 degrees our air temperature with a 50% chance of afternoon showers over the next 3 or 4 hours. Then tomorrow, about the same. A couple of morning showers as we had today, followed by some afternoon shower and thunderstorm activity. And then Friday, similar. And then as we head into the weekend, the pattern reverses. Instead of those morning showers and thunderstorms close to the coastline moving inland, we get late afternoon showers and thunderstorms building inland and then pushing back toward the coastline. So 180-degree reversal in the direction of motion of these storms and the onset of the thunderstorm activity later in the day as well, not earlier in the morning. Monday and Tuesday will start to trend down rain chances, I think, as some drier air begins to work its way in. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. On to Health Smart now. Surveys have shown when it comes to sleep, 1 in 3 of us don't get enough. ABC's Janae Norman tells us the price tag that comes with a lack of sleep.
Sleep has become a luxury for some in an age of single parents, social media, and scrambled schedules. The number of people who suffer from inadequate sleep is significant and increasing, and that lack of sleep actually comes with a price tag. For the first time ever, researchers out of Australia counted the cost of inadequate sleep from the health and safety perspectives, along with losses from decreased productivity in the workplace. Costs related to healthcare needs, even the time taken to talk about healthy sleep with a doctor, motor vehicle accidents, workplace injuries, reduced employment and early retirement, days absent from work, lack of productivity, and premature mortality were all rolled into the estimate. Here it is. The cost of inadequate sleep in 2016-2017 was an astonishing $45.21 billion. This equates to $6,117 for each person not sleeping enough in both financial and well-being costs. The cost of hospital care, doctors, medications, and tests alone, that was $1.24 billion, a large chunk of change. Of course, this is all an estimate, but inadequate sleep has a real association with many medical problems: heart failure, diabetes, depression, and stroke, and society pays a cost. How to lower that cost? Healthy sleep. Going to sleep at the same time every night, weekends too, using the bedroom for sleeping, not as a TV room, and cutting down on caffeine and bright lights before bed will all help. Sleep tight. With this Medical Minute, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News.
All right, now some good news. It's time for lunch. Chef Judy is here, and today you're speaking Spanish, I understand, Judy?
That's right. We are making Spanish tapas. As the humidity comes in, we all want to eat a little lighter, so I go back to my time that I was in Spain and touring. We're going to bring in some Valencia orange, vinegar and sherry wine and chorizo with red potatoes to make a really flavorful potato salad that you don't have to worry about the mayonnaise in. And we're going to make some spicy wings that are real sticky with some sauteed dates. I think you're going to love it, so stay with me. Rain or shine, we are making Spanish tapas today.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs Right at Home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call Right at Home.
Get the right care right at home.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Welcome back, New at Noon. Now, what would you do if you got a check in the mail for $1 million? It happened to a North Carolina family, and what happened next might surprise you. Reporter Joe Bruno explains.
We freaked out. You know, you kind of jump up and down.
Eric Gabriel and his family couldn't believe what they were seeing. This check from Bank of America made out to them for $1 million.
I could feel my flesh say, oh, I want this. But it wasn't. It's not mine.
He was expecting cash from the bank, but definitely not that much. Gabriel admits the thought of becoming a millionaire overnight was tempting.
You know, all these thoughts run through your mind like, oh, you know, I can do this, and you know, I might not even have to work.
But ultimately, he gave the check back.
We prayed about it, and we realized that the best thing to do is to glorify God with everything that we do, and so we decided to just take it back.
A spokesperson for Bank of America confirms the incident has been resolved. Gabriel says the mistake surprised him because several people had to sign off on the money before it came into his hands.
They basically said, oops, we made a mistake. And that's all they said.
While he isn't rolling in cash right now, Gabriel is sleeping well at night.
Christ in me wouldn't allow me to do the wrong thing.
Knowing at the end of the day, he did the right thing.
Nice story there. That's reporter Joe Bruno. What do you think, Judy? He probably deserved a little a finder's fee or a reward for that one, Judy?
At least dinner. I think so, for sure. We'll invite him over on the set. So let's get started. So I'm taking the dry chilled chicken wings. And what I have in here is some sweet paprika and some spicy paprika. And of course I have Spanish oil. I also have Spanish olive oil heating in the pan. You can use any olive oil that you want. I just thought it's fun to stay in theme, and I do use different olive oils at home. So now we'll add a little granulated garlic and some more paprika, just a little extra. So I like this smoky, I like hot paprika, and I like sweet paprika. You're gonna give it a stir, little salt and pepper to coat it, and then we're gonna cook it in a pan with some more of that Spanish olive oil. I would say about, probably 3 tablespoons of oil is gonna do it. You start to see that smoke point, keep it about a medium high, not high. Now, you can either use a cast iron pan or a non-stick pan. What you wanna do is you just wanna do them in batches. Don't crowd the pan. We all get impatient and say, I just want to get this all done. But anything like when you're frying chicken cutlets, you want to have plenty of space for them so they'll cook evenly. So we're going to do these in batches, so I can fit probably one more in there comfortably. I would say about 3 minutes per side is going to do it. And we'll come back to those wings after commercial break, and we'll make the sauce, which is made out of dates. Now, what I did over here was I took 2 chorizo sausages out of the casing and I cooked that up because that's going to be part of the base of Spanish potato salad, staying the same thing. We're going to use olive oil and we're not going to use mayonnaise. I'm going to add some anchovy paste, salt and pepper, and I'll wait for you to come back for the next ingredients. So come back with us. We are frying up spicy, gooey Spanish chicken wings and some Spanish potato salad for a tapas lunch.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Coming up, the rest of the story, why New Jersey police won't face charges for this high-profile beach arrest. Plus, end of an era. We'll tell you what's next for the former Colony Resort on Longboat Key. And what's with all the illegal dumping in Northport? Police are looking for suspects.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. The latest on that violent beach arrest on the Jersey Shore. A young mother punched by a police officer and handcuffed in front of her daughter. But as ABC's Maggie Rulli tells us, there are always two sides to every story.
20-year-old Emily Weidman says knowing millions have watched this video leaves her anxious.
One video, one situation, and you're like, saying all this, all this negative stuff about a person.
As she relives the moment over Memorial Day weekend in Wildwood, New Jersey, when she was wrestled to the ground by police with her 1-year-old baby sitting nearby. Police say they spotted the underage woman with a bottle of alcohol, so they had her take a breathalyzer test, which she says she passed. Body cam footage shows what happened next.
Okay, what's your last name?
I don't need my last name.
Done with you. Do you have cuffs on you?
No, man!
Get over here.
Me.
Yo.
Don't touch me!
You're about to get dropped.
Police say as they tried to arrest Weidman, who was on probation for a 2016 arrest, she kicked and spit at them.
You're not allowed to beat me like that!
Weidman's attorney says the incident was an excessive use of force.
She went to have a fun time on the beach with her daughter, and they're the police officers.
The officers involved were temporary summer hires.
We do our best to train them properly.
And today, county prosecutors said the actions of the arresting officers did not warrant criminal charges. While it seems for now the officers will not be criminally charged, they are under investigation by the department. And police tell ABC News that they'll be on administrative duty until that investigation is complete. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Happening in Florida, the Sunshine State may not have the safest drinking water. A group that calls itself Get the Lead Out tested 8 drinking fountains at the state capitol building. 4, or half, were found to have lead levels above 1 part per billion, an amount the American Academy of Pediatrics says creates health risks for children. One of the drinking fountains had lead levels 11 times higher than that.
Florida is largely the same. And we know that the lead is coming from the plumbing parts. It's not coming from the aquifer.
Well, the group says schools built before 1986 pose the highest risk for contamination. They say it would cost about $24 million to fix and replace what's needed to make the water safe statewide. Police in Punta Gorda have a new way to fight back against credit card skimming devices at the gas station. They'll present a plan today to the Punta Gorda City Commission that would make every gas station within city limits install special locks on pumps. The police chief says most of their experiences comes after the fact when police report fraud charges on their credit cards. So they want to stop the crime before it happens by adding a lock and key device on pumps. They say it's already worked a little farther south in Cape Coral. Hurricane season is here, and are your windows ready? PGT Innovations of Venice makes hurricane-proof windows and doors. They recently showed just how they test their products to make sure they're storm-proof.
The idea is to cover the whole house so air doesn't penetrate the inside of the house. When air penetrates the home, the roof pressurizes and pops off. And that's where you see all the devastation and destructions when the roof starts coming off the house. They're designed to withstand up to a Category 4, up to a Category 5 in some instance storms. The actual design pressures will vary based off the type of window you order.
And speaking of being prepared this hurricane season, don't forget tomorrow is the last day to purchase tax-free hurricane supplies.
Well, he's absolutely right. You know, even 5% breach of the exterior shell of the house can pressurize the interior to where a roof can fail or a garage door can fail, something like that.
5%.
That's why it's important, if you can't afford the windows, to, you know, shutter your home. And don't neglect the soffits either, because soffits can have big issues, as we saw in Charlie. The soffits, the overhang underneath the roof structure there can sometimes be compromised, and that can allow a lot of water to be blowing up inside your house and cause mold damage as well. So now's the time to check it out. And I'll tell you what, we're checking out radar today. We got some action going on. Take a look. Now, what you're seeing here are positive and negative lightning strikes, and you'll notice in the beginning of the frame a 6-hour loop, a very concentrated mass in the northern Gulf waters, which kind of spreads out as it sinks south. That's important. The blue lightning strikes that you see here are positive lightning strikes. So this has been a very prolific system in producing these most dangerous of positive lightning strikes that are 10 times stronger than the more common negative strikes. We have the cell sinking southward in Gulf waters, kind of dissipating as it does so, but still capable of producing very gusty winds. And the cell now moving onshore in Manatee County, producing lots of lightning and some heavy rain all along 72 north up toward the Gulf and Bay waters, and then in toward areas of Palmetto. All of this in store for us this afternoon. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few. Ray?
Thank you, John. An iconic former Longboat Key resort will soon be history. The Colony Beach and Tennis Resort's been gone for 10 years after a legal dispute between the condo owners and management. Since then, Longboat Key town officials say the property has become a hazard. The director of planning ordered the demolition for as early as next Friday. He says the town has given the owners a fair chance to address the conditions.
The structures are really unfit and unsafe right now, and then entering into another hurricane season, that just adds to the safety concerns that we have.
Parsons says there is a 10-day demolition appeal period that began last Thursday, but so far there have been no appeals. An Orlando developer has bought the land and plans to build a St. Regis hotel on the site. A recent rise in illegal dumping in Northport has the city asking police to start cracking down. Look at this, abandoned furniture and other debris turning up on the side of the road near the Charlotte County line. Northport says they'll clean up the mess as fast as they can, but there's a lot of mess out there right now. Anybody caught could be charged with a felony. Here's reaction from a city official and then a nearby resident.
It's just something we want to stop, mainly because it does affect our taxpayers, but also the citizens that live here. You know, they walk their dogs on the street, they run, they jog, they exercise, and you know, you can't blame them. You wouldn't want this garbage, you know, in your neighborhood.
When friends and people would come over, they would comment on it, so that's pretty bad. When people are driving through your neighborhood and saying, hey, there's a couch on the side of the road, and over on this one, there's a TV. You could put it together and have a living room.
If you see somebody illegally dumping their belongings, you can call Northport Police. Now you can download books and magazines and music with Sarasota County's new Library mobile app. Yeah, the new app works with Apple, Android, and Amazon devices. You can search the library catalog, renew items, place holds, download magazines and books. The app also allows you to view the event calendar, request a meeting room, and browse resources. If you want to download the app, we have more information on our website. Just go to mysuncoast.com. All right, Chef Judy is retracing her roots in Spain a few years ago. She's nostalgic right now. What do you have for us, Judy?
So tapas day, we're making Spanish potato salad and sticky Spanish wings. We've browned the wings in a little Spanish olive oil, and they have the chorizo. Now I added onions, red onions, and a clove or two of garlic. We're going to deglaze the pan with a little Valencia orange vinegar and a little sherry wine. Now the sherry wine's going to really pop it, so I'm going to get that off. Now, the key to making the sauce, and this is great because we're using dried dates, and they're going to kind of reconstitute in this liquid, but they're going to cook down and they're going to get that sticky sweet. This is one that you're going to need 5 napkins for, but trust me, it's so good. So stir that around, little more in the orange, and we're going to simmer this for about 2 minutes. Then what we're going to do is we're going to basically toss the wings in it so you can put it right back in the pan. I'm going to let the dates cook down a little bit. Now let's talk about the potato salad. Made the potatoes last night, just boiled red potatoes, easy enough, right? So then I have some fennels, and I love to use the little fawns up top too. And then I have, because I had a half of red pepper in my fridge, let's add that half a diced red pepper and about 3 or 4 chopped eggs. Now to make it Spanish style, another thing we can do is to add some chopped Spanish olives, and we have some of that pimento in there, which is really going to give it a nice flavor. And of course, let's bring in the smoked paprika. So I'm going to toss all that up in just a few minutes, and it's really going to give us some good flavor. So now let's get these chicken wings going in the fridge, excuse me, the oven, not the fridge, at about 350 degrees. And we want to just spread this out, make sure that those dates burst a little bit. That's going to give you that stickiness, but so much better than using syrup and honey kind of burns at times. So when we come back, that will be done, the potato salad will be ready, and lunch is served tapas style.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android.
This is awesome.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we are looking at a line of sort of decreasing in intensity, showers and thunderstorms sinking southward, but still, even though they are decreasing in intensity, they're still capable of producing some pretty good downbursts of rain as well as some frequent lightning strikes, which, as we all know, can be very dangerous in the state of Florida. So we'll be watching these throughout the afternoon as they sink southward, and the amount of rainfall has been impressive in North Florida. We talked about that this morning, how that was going to happen, and there were flood watches and warnings put up there for some very intense intense thunderstorm activity. For us, I don't think we'll see anything quite like that. Our rainfall amounts will probably be in the half an inch or less category. They're pretty fast movers, and they are kind of racing across Manatee County right now, the two cells that I'm in particular watching. One just offshore has some pretty good cores of reflectivity. I mean, there's some pretty good thunderstorm activity out there and lots of lightning pops, but if you look at the shear, it's pretty low, coming in at about 20 miles per hour or so. So you could see something like a little funnel cloud trying to develop perhaps with this system, but it's not going to produce much in the way of any kind of severe weather. Now, back to the east, we have one system that has been moving over areas of Bradenton and now moving into Palmetto, producing a pretty good line of showers all the way down 75 between Lakewood Ranch and Palmetto, and some lightning pops as well in and around the mall area. But all of this, as I mentioned, gradually winding down and rapidly moving off to the north and to the east, so total rainfall amounts not going to be all that great. Through the afternoon, we'll have about a 50% chance of rain showers up till about 3 p.m. and then we'll start to decrease those rain chances as most of this activity moves inland and the complex of storms out in Gulf waters begins to dissipate a little bit. I think one of the reasons will be, well, the cold outflow of air from the thunderstorms, plus the cloud cover will be kind of a storm killer as well. 20% chance by around midnight. The Futurecast hour by hour shows those storms moving onshore, get some rainfall out of it, and then everything kind of dissipates as we head into the evening hours. Tomorrow morning, though, we could start to do it all over again with a fairly strong onshore flow of air. We'll pick up a few scattered showers in the morning, and then that'll be followed in the afternoon by another round of thunderstorms. Right now, we're looking at a west wind that's going to be kind of continuous throughout the day, coming in at about 5 to 10 knots, but you're going to be dodging those thunderstorms, so maybe not the best day for boating. 86 degrees our air temperature today with, again, about a 50% chance of showers for the next couple of hours, then decreasing. Tomorrow, 40% chance of rain. Same sort of situation on Friday. Showers near the coast in the morning, followed by inland storms. Then on Saturday and Sunday, our rain chance goes up to about 50 or 60%, but the storms will start later in the afternoon inland and then drift back toward the coast. Ray?
Thank you, John. Consumer news now. For the first time on record, the number of job openings exceeds the number of Americans looking for jobs. The Labor Department says jobs in April rose 1% to nearly 7 million, with most openings in manufacturing and the service industry. Experts say that this is the most since they started keeping track of the numbers back in 2000. A company that makes one of America's most iconic baseball gloves is being sold. Rawlings has outfitted kids and pros alike for the past 130 years, but now they're being taken over by a private equity company. The price tag, nearly $400 million. It should be complete in about 2 months. Say goodbye to IHOP. The restaurant posted a tweet suggesting it's changing its name to IHOB. So the International House of Pancakes will become the International House of Bacon, Biscuits, Breakfast. They're not saying yet. The change takes place on Monday, but IHOP is being coy about what that B stands for. I'm going to bet with breakfast, I think. Well, the West Coast Black Theater Troupe is marking summer with a touring production of a new play called Real Life. And John is with the writer, director, and star of the show, Joel King. John?
Joel, first of all, thank you for coming in today. Opening night tonight, and the gentleman stops in to see me. I mean, that's pretty great. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. So I saw a little bit of this at a dress rehearsal, and I also saw some on the Suncoast View the other day. The music is amazing. It's lush. It's rich. I see why you call this hip opera.
Yes.
Right? Because it has operatic elements in it.
All of them. You know, my background, it's in classical music. The funny thing about it, most of my history is actually not really in hip-hop. I got into that in my latter years. So I'm like, you know what? I see a need for this. Let me figure out how to do it, and I did it.
For those that don't know, can you define hip-hop for us?
Hip-hop is it's the marriage of song and hip-hop. You know, pretty much, and use it as a way, as a dialogue through the show, to help narrate the show.
I've seen it kind of described as sort of a marriage between Rent and In the Heights by
And indeed,
Lin-Manuel.
yes. Yeah, because it goes back to the whole rawness that we see with In the Heights, that we see with, and then the music and the stories that we're telling is definitely a reflection of urban America.
And the music, I got to tell you, is just so lush and rich and just fantastic.
Yes.
So this came to be in St. Louis, right? This
in St. Louis, yes.
Does it reflect anything that you know of in personal life, or is
I grew up in Washington Park, which is a little town in the ghetto East St. Louis, and so there was a lot that I saw, a lot that I did not want to see, and much that I took from me, because I was took with me because I'm a child of 7 of 11. And from that, the experiences, those different personalities, what we had to endure within the home, I'm like, you know what, it's time to tell the story that people perhaps do not know, what creates this and what can avoid this type of response, especially coming from those type of backgrounds.
And you're saying that the piece that you've written here has storylines of redemption, discovery, and community involvement, and all sorts of very powerful emotional content.
Well, thank you, because it's all necessary. It's all necessary. If we are honestly interested in getting to that next phase, that promised land, as we call it, it's about community, family, faith.
I once heard somebody in the theater say that you have to have people break out into music when words just aren't sufficient to convey the emotion.
Indeed, and it works. I thank God for just being able to hear it. I mean, I play a little piano, but creating melodies is like second nature to me.
Well, Joel, we all look forward to seeing this production. I saw a little bit of it, and I got to tell you, I can't recommend it highly enough. Amazing music and a great storyline. Thanks for stopping in. Good luck on opening night tonight. Break a leg.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to you.
All right, thank you guys. Still to come on your Suncoast News, the emotional and surprise reunion at a high school graduation. Stay with us.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free. You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment, and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
I know it's sticky and gooey.
So tasty, even the bones taste good. It's delicious, Judy.
Thank you. So the dates sauteing down with the Valencia orange and the sherry really reduce that, make it sticky and tart and all those wonderful flavors. With Spanish potato salad that I put some fennel in, chopped olives that I know you love. Recipe is on mysuncoast.com. Go on the dining section, and don't forget it's Wednesday. You could win a gift card for $50 to one of our local restaurants.
I love that.
Just for entering. Yeah.
What a great little thing for our viewers. Thanks so much, Judy.
I love it.
Delicious, delicious, delicious. Download that recipe. Right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, folks. Entertainment news now. The movie season's underway, and David Daniel has a preview of some big movies in today's Hollywood Minute.
Haley Steinfeld finds her little yellow car has a big secret in the first trailer for Bumblebee. The Transformers prequel hits theaters December 21st.
You got people out there who need you. This is why you're here, Bee. What is that? That is London.
Millennia after a world-shattering war, giant moving cities roam the earth, devouring smaller towns for their resources in Mortal Engines. Peter Jackson's steampunk-inspired thriller based on the Philip Reeve novel invades theaters December 14th.
We have to stop London before it destroys us. You sure you want to do this? Once we go in, there's no going back.
I have to.
It's like it knows our every move.
Weird, right?
Emmett!
And Lego Duplo invaders from space threaten our little plastic heroes in the first trailer for The Lego Movie 2, the second part, coming next February.
The Star Sister.
No woes. Do not give her the satisfaction of woeing this. That's even worse. Stop it!
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Finally, a high school senior got a big surprise at the graduation. Look at this. Massachusetts' Tyler Solomon walked across the stage for a diploma, and that's when his father emerged from the crowd. U.S. Army Sergeant Damon Solomon was scheduled to be on a year-long deployment overseas, but the school says Dad's trip home was a surprise to the entire family.
Never get tired of seeing
Wow, Dad.
It's beautiful.
Love
I want to
it.
quickly show you radar. We have some showers moving on shore now, some of them producing some pretty good rain. So Longboat Key, down toward Venice even, you're likely to see some showers moving on shore between the next 15 minutes and the next hour. Some of them could produce brief periods of heavy rain. Welcome to thunderstorm season.
About that time, isn't it?
About that time.
All right, well, stay dry this afternoon. See you tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. Judy, thank you.
Thank you.
Next news at 5 o'clock. Have a good afternoon, folks.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Thank you.
What are you doing? You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and special guests on Suncoast View for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the afternoon, watch Suncoast View, weekdays at 4 on ABC 7. Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining. Download the all-new ABC 7 First Alert weather app now.